Okay,
Guys, have your questions ready? We can start getting into the questions. More questions, more information is. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank
okay,
you.
we're ready to go. Joseph has a question. He says that he's felt he's felt that he's used as a channel to give people information quite a bit, but has a hard time doing it for himself. Could you elaborate on that?
Thank you. Ron, could you please your microphone?
Yep, go ahead.
Um, Thank you for that question. It's a really good question. Yes, a lot of times you gave a permission to do that, and they're saying that all of us did that at some point because that's how it worked from higher consciousness through our lifetimes. Okay, we gave a permission to always be connected with our higher self, so higher galactic. This is galactic family connection. This is the ETs. But sometimes with somebody that passed away or loved ones, depending of what you're tuning into. But yes, you were being used as a vessel before. To do that by yourself, again, you have to just practice. You have to know it, and you have to 100% believe that you can do it and don't doubt it. Even, for example, if you put an image that you're in a spacecraft, you're definitely going to see something in your imagination. Now, in that imagination of the spacecraft, put emotion at the same time. Feel that emotion of how happy you are. And then start exploring through your vision. What do you see? And then start asking a question. Well, what is that? And at the moment you ask the question, listen immediately. The answer is going to come. I guarantee you. It's going to come. But even if it says, oh, it's a cloud, don't doubt it. Because you're going to say cloud. What is that supposed to mean? Yeah, but you can say what type of cloud? And it could say it's a structure that looks like a cloud, and this is blah blah. It could be some kind of a completely new system that you never heard of. The reason why we blocking is because we taking our perspective, our understanding completely from our three-dimensional understanding. But if you let completely the structure open, remember I was talking so much about 0 point. 0 point is like clean everything out and now let everything to come in. If you let go completely of your judgment and you completely let it be, no matter what type of thought comes into your head, um, then you start to perceive more and more and more and more because you're simply not blocking it by the structure of the doubt. Because remember what they were saying today, doubt has a structure, has a mantra, has a geometric and mathematical equation, because behind this doubt, you doubt in something. That is a frequency. So immediately you block in the whole image and more information cannot come in. But if it's something, for example, you perceive that you don't quite understand, ask more questions and you can say, I'm sorry, can I have a new explanation? Can you give me a new image? It sounds perhaps ludicrous, but literally like you're talking to yourself with the images, but believe me, you're talking to them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, you're talking to them. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I was taught that. I was taught, for example, I give you example, because when I give the examples the way they taught me, all of you will relate to. One day they came in and told me sit down. So I'm sitting down, as usually is my hallway. I don't know why, but it's got to be portal in there or something. I'm going in there, I'm sitting down. They said, now put an image, and they said, get in a spacecraft. So I'm saying, okay, I'm in a spacecraft. So at the moment they said that, I imagined a spacecraft and I was inside. And they said to me, what do you see? And I said, in that image, I remember very vividly, I even see it now, it was a white ball of light, but almost with like fluorescent of blue. crystal clear. I can see through it. And it was this energy ball right in the middle of the craft. And I'm looking at it, and they said, "What is that?" They asked me the question. I wasn't asking, but I'll tell you why they asked me this way. And I said, "Well, that is a energetic field." And I started explaining anything that popped in my head, because I've learned not to judge no matter what comes in my head. And they said, "Yes, correct." But then I said something different, and they said to me, "No, try again." And then I look it through a different perspective, whatever now new information came into my thought. And I said, "Well, oh," and I started talking more about it. And they said, "You're on the right path. This is it. Thank you." And this is how they taught me to trust myself, by questioning back and forth. And I will hear no, yes, try again. Or sometimes I will ask. Or the way one day was another situation. They asked me to sit down because they told me in my simultaneous reality. Remember, we had a webinar that I was talking. It was very fundamental until it was in the 7th of January. We talk about we already made it. And we already exist in a parallel reality that is running simultaneous with this one. Made it, and in that reality, I was driving a spacecraft. Okay, so this is the reason why last time they were teaching us that we already made it. What we're doing now is dreaming the process step by step, frame by frame by frame.
Gotcha.
And we expand our consciousness. I can shift from this reality directly into the spacecraft and be back again. That's what they can do. That's what they're teaching us, and I'm sure we're going to have a webinar for that. What they did that time was telling me how from this reality I connected telepathically, because what I was doing in that reality that was simultaneously running and I simultaneously exist, connected telepathically to tell me that I was stopping the spacecraft, that I was connecting, I was driving by my thoughts. But I was stopping the spacecraft so quickly that it was just not going properly into the energetic field. So they told me to sit down, and they guided me step by step what to do and what to imagine in order for me not to stop so quickly, but to stop very slowly, very gently. Okay? This reality of me doing that. So now that means I already know how to travel and what to do in a spacecraft. But the reason I was able to do that, because I have no fear and no judgment of what's coming in. I completely learned to open everything that is coming into my consciousness. And I was able to see incredible probabilities and incredible structures because I simply opened up. If I perceive something that could be a negative thought, because that's what happened, I will reject it. I would not exactly reject it. I will say thank you and gratitude that you're here, but I don't resonate with what you're saying, because sometimes somebody can penetrate that it shouldn't be there. Okay, you can always say thank you, but give a gratitude, because the only way negative structure cannot exist in your consciousness is when you vibrate in a frequency of the love and gratitude. They cannot withhold that frequency. They have to exit. It's fundamental to understand that. So any type of thinking coming to your thoughts, but don't be alarmed that somebody is taking you over. Just the thought that somebody is taking you over, immediately you're shifting in that reality, and you're giving probability for somebody to come and do this to you. Not that it doesn't exist. Everything exists in a structure. But don't be tuning into that frequency. Don't put that thought to be part of your image of your thought. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. More questions? Thank you so
Okay.
much, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joseph. Yeah, Marina, we've got a few more questions. Lindsay, I'm going to read your question, Marina, but if you have video and or audio, turn both or either one of them on, at least audio, so you can speak with Marina and she'll connect with you better. Marina, Lindsay says, I've been experiencing a major sense of self moments in the past couple of weeks, increasing throughout, and I'm wondering if some contact will be soon coming through, as I feel it might be. But I get so terribly excited that it's hard to hold.
Oh, this was very, thank you so much, Lindsay, because funny when Ron was talking about it. Your microphone, please. Thank you. Love you. Um, they were telling me exactly that. They said that you were popping out, and then you end up saying that you are getting too excited. Now, when you get excited, let it be steady, like you're excited, but not to the point like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because at the moment you do that, you're kind of disturbing the sequence. It has to be steady and smooth, you know, like almost like you're floating through it. Because if it's not, then remember the emotion can fluctuate so quickly, like do like this all the time. And if that, you need to really synchronize it in a proper sequence. But if you're fluctuating so quickly, you're popping out. That's metaphysics. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Oh, yes. Okay, thank you.
No, Lindsay, we can't hear you. Okay,
Oh,
she
she
heard
says
you,
yes.
though. She heard you, Marina.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, John had a question. He said, Marina, what's the best actions to open your mind? And does tinnitus, I believe is how you say it, does tinnitus interfere with that?
I don't know what tinnitus means. I'm sorry. It's probably that.
Hey, John.
Ron, your
Hi.
microphone?
Yeah. Hi all. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, it was just me. Tinnitus. I've got like high pitch, constant ringing in my consciousness. So I meditate, do a lot of peace meditation and world, to center myself, and I feel quite centered emotionally. I'm not lifting and not dropping too much at the moment, but yeah, I've got the tinnitus, and everything I'm hearing is open your mind. It's as easy as that, and I'm just wondering what actions to let go of and connect more. That's where I'm coming from. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, first of all, what they told me, it was like your situation. May I speak freely here? Do I have that permission? Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, your personal situation, they said, it's in a level that it's giving you frequencies at this moment that are off balance. So in order for you to be clear vessel, you have to neutralize, basically deal with that situation to the point that you're okay with it, so you can shift and move on. Because what is being happening with you, they're saying, is like a back and forth all the time. And in order for you to perceive and really connect, you have to learn how to stabilize yourself and how to deal with this, whatever personal emotions and situations that are into, to understand that this is just a part of the process. But you are not quite there yet, they say.
Okay. Thanks, Marina. Makes sense. Thank you.
And by the way, Marina, the ringing of the ears, I mean, there may be some kind of disorder out there. I don't know, but some people get it confused with what a lot of us are going through with, the energy, the information coming through, and we get a lot of noise. I call it white noise in the ears. Can you explain that really quick? That, because I know a lot of people think ringing in the ears is a disorder, but that's not what we're talking about.
This is have a lot of probabilities here. First could be frequencies that are constantly. Your microphone, Ron, please. Thank you. Um, if we talk about the frequencies, you're gonna hear this back and forth, and sometimes when it has to adjust, could be very long, like 4 or 5 seconds can hold, and you literally gotta download a frequency into your consciousness. But sometimes could be a medical, and I've known that if it's a medical, sometimes could be the ear, what do you call it, something with you cannot hold the vibration that is coming through your earlobes. And then the other one could be, believe it or not, fungus in your body. So you have to really, if you get a lot of this frequency, if it's very frequent, I would say go to a medical doctor and check everything. Take a blood work for worm or fungus in your body, and check the entire ear structure. If nothing comes out there, then know that you have an adjustment in your frequencies. But if it's very frequent, if it's every day, something like that, and you become dizzy in a frequent basis, know that no consciousness will make you feel dizzy all the time. You may have a moments that you're exhausted or something, but would not be all the time. The way I was integrated through honey and water structure, remember when they end up my frequency got higher. When I stayed 15 days and only juicing, they asked me. And in the 15 days, they had a physical interaction when I felt like a physical hand went into my heart, I pull it out, and I pass out. But I was consciously aware. And they put it back in, and then my frequency was increased. But that was done by agreement because I had to raise the frequency. Why do you think they're giving me these messages every day? Do you know what I do every day? Right now, for me to perceive these messages and give it to you, right now I have to stay only in honey and water. And for everybody it could be completely ludicrous, but for somebody that understands the detox, Praetorianism, and how you increase the frequency, I already done this from a long time, juicing, detoxing, and all that. I can get to that level. In no circumstances go to water and juicing if you're not ready for it. I do not recommend that until you go to the detox and detox program, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. But I'm ready for that. So in order for me to tune in into these higher structures, I have to even vibrate in a higher structure like that. Because we talk about matching the proper frequencies of information. In order for me to do that, I have to be very clear vessel. That's why we need to do that. I'm again simply ahead of the class. So everything I do, if you wish to follow, you're more than welcome to. I'm here to be at your service. That's what I chose to do. So I deeply, deeply thank to all of you for your trust in me and supporting me and Ron to just help each other and get our information out. I completely appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say thank you also, Marina, to everybody, especially for the donations for our fundraiser. We're only $40 away, so it's really been a blessing, and I'm grateful, and I know Marina's grateful that everybody is so nice and so loving and cares about us and what we want to do further to the new software is going to really allow us to do some better things. We've got another question here, quite long, Marina, from, I don't know if I'm reading it right, but it says Quantum Aga. Quantum Aga is the name.
Hello.
I think you know that person.
Yeah, I know her. She's a very good friend. What Soul Aga Dreamland is. She's a blogger and she's a journalist, and she does a lot for humanity. I would strongly suggest you guys go and look her website. Aga, if you want to promote your website, you can just tell us. What is your website, Aga?
Okay, now you want me to read her question to you now?
Yes.
Okay, so she says, I have the experience of going through seeing yourself in all possible parallel universes and versions of yourself, and many versions are equally exciting. I appear in many places in the world, like quantum jumping realities, a bit here, a bit there. Was in many energetically charged places in the USA for the last 4 to 5 months, now also in Hawaii, so-called Lemuria Land, MU. Is there a reason why I ended up being put in Hawaii for a bit at this time and space? And then she says, I was called through deep hypnotherapy to reawaken to one of my role, which is being a galactic custodian and galactic connector. Could you unfold a bit more on this? And she says, feeling a lot of energies running through me all the time and need to stabilize those energies and ground them in physical vessel to be of more service that I came here to be.
Thank you, Aga. Yes, first of all, you know that you chose to be in that location, but your choosing is exactly where you need to be, believe it or not, because there is no negative imprint and there is no negative lesson in your field. Every lesson you can look at from the perspective of positive outcome. So if you look at your experience in Hawaii as a positive, that you need to be there to extract some energy to be there because you're connecting with the energetic field of that location. And if you're there, then into the structure, into your reality, you have to be there. You're exactly where you need to be. All of us are exactly where you need to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You're going to be in completely different reality because everything is in the now. So yes, you interject, and as I said before to you, that you are connecting with a lot of different realities simultaneously at the same time. What you were doing is you were perceiving the way, for example, the extraterrestrials are doing. All the realities are running at the same time. What your consciousness is learning is to tune in with them simultaneously for you to be able to control. Oh, okay. And this way, they said, in this way, you'll be able easily to maneuver from any type of situation that is coming in your reality, because it's just so much going on. You're all over the place. But don't think that this is not chosen by you to be all over the place. How are you gonna have the experience of proper connections if you don't know the physical contact? That's what you chose to do. This is the reason why you're jumping from places to places. And also it's a complete experience for you to really find out who, because of your work, who these people are. That is the experience that you've chosen, Naga. Your fear right now, they're saying, is, excuse me, blocking you for perceiving more information. You're in a state of doubt and questioning your path. That's what they said. And they said if you continue going this way, don't be surprised that there will be more blockages for you. Thank you. More question, guys? Amber says, I believe I am beginning to pass my test, straightening my will. I would like to ask, how could I better serve humanity? The progress I wish to see is some stability. I trust the plan. I'm learning to trust myself. Also, how to deal with uncertain ego. Oh, that's a couple of questions. Okay. All of us at this particular moment are being tested. Remember, one of the messages from the 11 dimensional beings was that we, at this moment, are all being through the test that they need us to, because they needed us to see, and they needed to see how we're going to act in a personal situations. Because then the right people will be contacted from there. They're going to choose which are going to be the right people that will be upfront to lead humanity towards the galactic structure, ascension with the galactic family. Because you have to match their understanding and their frequency. You cannot be mean to people and greedy with, in order for me to help you, I need something from you first. If you plan to continue this pattern of interaction, I guarantee you that your abundance will always be accordingly to that pattern. So when you want something for yourself, you will not perceive a reality with complete abundance for you. You're going to perceive it through realities that in order for you to get something, somebody else will come and ask something from you in order to give it to you. It's not going to just be given freely. The way, for example, we were all helping each other. It's not going to be this way. Why is that? Not because somebody is punishing you. Nobody is punishing you. That is because you've been tuning in, acting and projecting this type of reality. Because you're the projector. It's that simple. So the ego, it's very thin line about the persona that you have and the ego. The ego is attached to an image of... is not attached with the image of abundance. It is attached with the image of self-indulgence. But when you indulge yourself, you're not projecting the energy of sharing. Because into consciousness itself, the way they explained to me, was basically they showing me like osmosis, like back and forth, in order for you perceiving something by extracting it, and you're giving back the something. But if you only take and take and take, and you don't give back, eventually you're going to so-called blow up out of the structure. Because you can't just take. In order for you to perceive, you have to give back. It's that simple. So ego is connected with self-indulgence, self-preservation, self-giving. But at the same time, you're not giving to somebody else or to some... other existence. So you need to understand that the entire giving is actually a way and is not attached to your ego. It's attached to your persona of who you are as a being, what are your needs, how you behave with others, how beautiful you are, or how you look. That's it. But ego is something completely different. So don't confuse those two. So let go of the ego. But have your persona, have your image, have your respect. But the respect should not be attached to the false ego. That you're going to respect me because I told you so. You respect me because this is who I am as a being. I'm projecting love to you. I don't have to allow somebody to disrespect me by saying mean stuff to me. So my persona will be attached to, I will not allow anymore for you to talk to me this way. Gratitude to you that you exist in my consciousness, but I decided to move on. Thank you for your time. Move on. And do not respond to that image, to that person with a negative, because then you're tuning into the structures. So ego and persona is two different things. Don't attach your persona of who you are. Ego that is self-serving only.
Thanks, Marina. We have a question we missed earlier, a little bit earlier, from Don. He says that he has a friend who has brain tumors, and she is very sensitive to smells and tastes. She's going to be having an MRI soon. Is there any treatments that can be undertaken to help her? Don, can you... Oh, he
what
wrote
I
something.
see is 3 in the brain. 3 spots, almost like it looks like this next to each other, dum dum dum, and is one little one on the side. I see a dot. MRI has to be done. I would never suggest to anybody not to go and do the MRI. I would not tell you what to do, but I would tell you what I know that some people did. I know that some people detox completely, and I know a person that had a ovarian cancer, 4th stage of ovarian cancer, and end up curing herself, and the ovarian cancer end up shrinking within 3 months and disappearing within 6 months, only on a juicing diet, raw organic non-GMO juice diet, and raw food. She saw the shrinking of the tumor within 3 months when she started to juice. Again, let me just say that within 6 months, if you juice only for 6 months, you actually mutate into a completely new structure, and you're raising your frequency of the entire molecular structure of your body. There is a video on YouTube. It's pranic nourishment, like a prana. It's pranic nourishment light body. This is the best video I've seen. It's a Russian guy in front of a whiteboard with ponytail. Somebody translating it. It's a bit difficult to listen, but I would strongly suggest every one of you to watch that video, because you will understand how, by you juicing and by you doing Breatharianism, you don't have to do Breatharianism, but is explaining to you what is really happening at an energetic molecular level. Is exactly what you were talking about, the ETs, and that video is one of the best I've seen. Again, it's pranic, like a prana, pranic nourishment, light body, on YouTube.
Hey Marina, I feel like there's something else there too. More details maybe Don needs to give. If you could talk a little bit more about it, Don, because he writes later on here that she's only one of 2,000 in this universe. He posted some messages on Facebook last night. The health issue he spoke of on brain tumors is for the source of this information. So I'm wondering if there's something more there. Don?
I'm not getting a reading on that, especially if it's 1 on 2,000 in this universe. I'm not reading. I'm blocked from that information.
Okay. I thought maybe he was just trying to tell us.
I'm not getting reading on that.
Yeah, I wasn't quite clear on everything.
Maybe it's not the time to know everything. That could be another thing.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, there's Don.
Oh, hi, Don.
I'm
Hello.
gonna mute now.
Sorry, I'm getting a little reverb. Okay, go ahead.
So go ahead, tell me exactly what you meant by you being the only one, or we couldn't quite understand. I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't go get that. Could you repeat that, please?
What did you mean exactly, that you were the only one?
It's not me. It's her.
It's her. So what was that about exactly? That she's
Well,
the only one. What?
She's been she's a star traveler.
They call it more intergalactic.
Hey,
Does
hey,
that
Don.
make sense to you?
Go ahead and say what you got to say. There's no judgment at all here. Just feel free, okay? Go ahead.
Cannot block her, because I'm not going to penetrate her consciousness if she's not here. You have to be exact and specific.
Okay, I'll try this. She's sorry, I'm not used to this. I usually type. She's the source of information for the base under Atlantis in what is currently called Antarctica. And I released that information. More of it will be coming out from other sources other than me. She has being uh,
They said flat out that
she,
they will not give you that information. If she wants to ask, she has to be the one to ask.
she has a restricted diet. She can only drink tea or light foods, no GMOs, etc. I was trying to find
Yeah.
I was trying to find a source that could help her. I'm doing whatever I can. I just thought you might have some sort of input.
The information of her being something with Antarctica is something that I cannot discuss. And if she needs to talk to me, she can talk to me herself. I will not discuss that in public.
I'll get her in touch with you then.
Yeah, and I'm blocked from the information in this particular moment for that information.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Any other questions, guys?
Marina, there's a question, and it kind of interests me a little bit because I saw something on the internet or TV in the last few weeks about it. Can you speak anything about the different blood types? You know, the rare blood type, I guess is it Rh negative? I heard something recently, and that's probably what Katie's typing about, that they're thinking the Rh negative blood came from a different being. Go ahead.
I have a video of was talking about DNA, RNA, genome. If you put on Matt McElroy, it's Marina Jacobi, I think DNA, RNA, and there I think they talk also about the Rh negative. Rh negative, it's coming from a completely different blood type that is not only connected to the Anunnaki, this blood type, they said, was more had a specific sequence, because remember, these all frequencies, that is more perceptive and accepting easily the new frequencies. So this is the reason why, I mean, I'm Rh negative. I'm not surprised of that. But for some reason, the Rh negative can perceive the new structures much easily. Because they said to me it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Is like that's why you're gonna see. So I don't have a very. They said to me, so you don't have a very difficult time perceiving the information. It's a specific geometric pattern, and it's all like for some people, if they're Rh negative, it's almost like in dormant. It's not being activated. At the moment it's being activated, sometimes it's activated from the energy that is coming, and sometimes you have your galactic family or high consciousness by agreement activating it. So you can start getting all the messages, all the information, because sometimes we have a thought comes into our head and you think it's all something, it actually was downloaded to you. So if we all think that nobody's channeling every single day and every single one of us is channeling every day, from somewhere you extracted the information. So to call that only one person is a channel, no, we are all channelers, but how much of the information of the library bank you're receiving is depending on how well you can extract the information. And that's what we're learning. So we all are channelers. Don't even think that somebody is more special than you. Okay? Rh negative is connected to a specific sequence that is easier to perceive the new structures that are coming in. But it's also another species that I'm not giving the name to. Okay? It's not only Anunnaki. We all have structures of Anunnaki, by the way, so don't think them as a if somebody always talk Anunnaki this, Anunnaki that. No, it was always a positive side and a negative side, and then if you connect sometimes with Anunnaki, could be completely different reality, parallel reality, that they already exist from a positive. As long as you withhold your positive vibration, that's how it works. You will perceive realities like that. You know?
Okay, Marina, we're running late here, so I was going to do one more question. There's a question from Amber here, and then we can finish up. Okay. Amber asks. Well, she says, I have had dreams last night of spacecraft, other nights of being on Templar boats and hiding treasure. My dad had ties with the Masonic Lodge. I can remember star people digging themselves into the earth to resurface later. She asks, am I supposed to do something with these dreams? Do I follow clues from my dreams, and to what end?
Okay, yes, you actually had a contact. Don't be surprised that you are in this webinar today. It's perfect synchronicity for you. So when you have the dream, what we talk about the dream, that the dreams are another reality like this one, but it's simply a little bit more without restrictions, without you putting boundaries. Because we can do the same thing what we're doing in this reality, but because of our belief system, we put in blockages. Remember that. So whatever you do in the lucid dream, you can actually do in this reality. There's no difference. The only reason why you cannot do it is because you believe in that you cannot. And consciousness is so powerful that will stop you and give you probabilities of in situations that you cannot do whatever you want to, because behind that layer, you're doubting it. The doubt is stopping you. So yes, you can have contact. It's another way of you to have, our dreams is another way of having a contact. Remember, what they're doing right now is crystallizing for the momentum until we get a physical contact. So you could withhold the vibration in their consciousness, because if they pop out in front of you, without you being ready vibrationally, you're going to evaporate. You have to withhold and little by little get to their frequency energetic field in order to withhold the structure for more and more and more and more until you finally can be among them. That's how it works. Otherwise, I had an experience like this. You start shaking a bit, and even your voice, you try to talk and your voice goes like this the whole time. Like the voice of yourself is really shaking. So yes, you had a physical you had a contact, not a physical, but you had a lucid dreaming. You were actually not lucid. You were actually dreaming. Okay, but you can practice to be lucid in that dream, so you can control where you go, ask the questions, what is happening, read about lucid dreaming, tuning in. So this way, more and more and more, you can control what is happening in the dream. Now, for every single person, the dreams are individually designed from your agreements to show you particular situations that may occur. So my suggestion is for you to write down your dreams. When you write down the dream, put out the smell, the color, the look, what time, what does it look like, what was the emotion that you were feeling or somebody else's emotion at that time. All that could be signs for you. And once you start putting every single day and basically record your dreams on dream book or something, make for yourself, you are going to see a pattern that will appear specifically designed for you. For example, if in a dream, I'm going to give example with me. If in my dream I see that I'm in a very beautiful gown, but the gown has a green color, I will get sick. If I see, for example, that I see a bear, that's something, again, some sickness. I've seen tiger. I know exactly what tiger means in my dream. But I've learned that by me recording my dreams and keeping track of my dreams. So because that particular sequence of image is specifically designed for me to show me what to look for, what to look out for. This also occurs in our daily life. If you have a pattern in your daily life, and why is that? Because our daily life is another dream. If you have a pattern in your daily life, for example, you see constantly number, or you see constantly, for example, I see garbage truck If I see a garbage truck in front of me, I know something will happen that is not particular that I'm gonna like. But then I've noticed not only that the garbage truck, but also the color of the garbage truck, if it appears right in front of my car, has a, if it's red, if it's green, if it's white, goes in complexity. If it's white, maybe it's some kind of an issue, but it's very easily resolved. If it's green, it's something else, and if it's red, it's some blockage there that is really some situation. And again, is resolved. So you have to learn by recording and look for the patterns in your daily life. That's how it works. And for every single one of it is specifically designed because what you end up doing before you came here, you gave yourself permission slips to help you through the reality here. But you have to open up and you have to learn what it is. Nobody can tell you, but I can tell you that dark colors are always something that you should look for. Something maybe is not right or bad or stuff like that. Okay?
Okay,
That's
Marina,
dreams.
speaking about dreams, quick question. Is there any reason why some dreams we can remember and other dreams we wake up and we know, wow, I was dreaming, but I can't remember a thing?
Very good question. Thank you, Rob. Because some of the dreams are blocked intentionally because when we go to sleep, actually it's almost like you going to shifting your consciousness into another reality. Okay? But when we go astral and when we go to another reality, we do so many different things out of the three-dimensional reality that sometimes you're not allowed to have the memory of it, because if you have the memory of it, may disrupt what you're doing in three-dimensional reality. So sometimes will be with permission for you to see whatever you do in a spacecraft, or sometimes will be completely blocked. And I'll give you an example with me. For example, I wanted to go lucid dreaming. I wanted so much, and they were telling me, why do you need to do lucid dreaming? You already lucid here. I was able to wake up in my lucid dream from it was in the second week from the time I started reading about lucid dreaming and practicing. Everybody has a different time though. Don't think that because I wake up 2 weeks later, you may not be able to become lucid in your second day of reading. Everybody has a different agreements. So I woke up, I opened up a portal with my thoughts, and every single time I wanted to go in a spacecraft, and every single time I was stopped, no matter how I tried, and every single time they told me you're not allowed to be there. And I'm going to myself, how is this possible when I do all this stuff, but you not, and you talking to me every day, every moment if you want to, and you telling me that I cannot come in? So I was upset about that. But what happened was, I end up having a very, very vivid dream that I was asked to participate in some kind of a mission. And it was kind of funny, it was a mission. And I remember that they were asking me that it's very important because it really will help humanity. And I was thinking, well, is humanity going to know all about me? Now my ego ended up speaking because I'm thinking from three-dimensional. And it was funny to me that I was thinking how famous I was going to get, with that. So they said, all consciousness is going to know. And at the moment said, oh, I'm happy, my kids will be fine. And they said, your family is fine. And I said, okay, I'll do it. At the moment I said, I'll do it, I end up, and I knew when they were asking me that I wasn't going to be alone. I knew that there's going to be a group of people. So I end up in a spacecraft. And believe it or not, I end up in reptilian spacecraft. And that group, we were like literally like me, but I knew collectively, all of us knew that the reptilians had us as children of the level of that understanding. And believe it or not, they were not mean to us. They were not negative to us. They just simply knew. And I knew that craft. I knew it was kind of light and tunnels, but it was not dark. It was kind of light. So in that room, at the moment the reptilian, we knew simultaneously the reptilian came in, and I did a voice that transformed that reptilian into a human, and completely panicked. Basically, I transformed him through the frequency that I ended up projecting. And the whole thing here, to make the story short, was that when I gave permission to do that, none of these entities had to know that all of the group that was there in the spacecraft had this type of abilities, because they said if you were lucid in your dream, for example, and you went in there, you would have been in fear, and you would have ended up bringing particles of emotion of three-dimensional reality. You could have panicked, and you would have not been able to complete your task. So now this is the reason I understood why a lot of us, and all of us, sometimes cannot perceive certain information, because could be this situation, or you're simply not ready to understand it. Because we do a lot of things individually in astral or in lucid, but you don't remember because you're gonna get in panic. Or you will take understanding from 3D, which they do not want to. Then you're gonna block completely and you're gonna fail in everything. This is the reason why most of the time we don't see that. Is it clear enough, or you guys want me to?
Yeah, hold on, Marina. I got a question, and let me stop the recording, and I got to start again because we've gone so far over. The recording will be too big for Facebook.